Am I the a-hole for asking my boyfriend to stop sharing everything with my sister? Hi, I'm 24 female and have been dating my boyfriend, 26 male, for 5 years now. We grew up together as neighbors and were friends for a couple years before dating. I love him so much, and I want to marry him. His family is great and I adore them all, and he's great with my family too. He also formed a great relationship with my sister, 21 female. The issue is that I think their bond is that too close. My boyfriend and I live together, but he spends a lot of time with her. Although I am sort of busy, I'm currently in grad school for engineering, so I have to go to my classes. My boyfriend works full-time. My sister is currently taking a gap year, but that 1 year has extended from when she was 18. She comes over when I'm in seminars, Chaksh classes. They have tons of inside jokes and share the same sense of humor and taste in movies. It makes me feel left out. But when I try to include myself, they both stop being so enthusiastic and act like it's super awkward to have me there. My sister and I were close growing up, but started drifting when I went to uni. When my boyfriend isn't there and I talk to her, she becomes kind of cold and sometimes says rude things. Once she told me to my face that I'm not good enough for him and that he deserves better, which made me cry for a couple days. He also gets her gifts for the most random achievements. Like he got her a present for making it through the week, even though she doesn't do anything. She isn't currently working or trying to pursue a hobby or interest. She's just taking it easy. Her own words. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad my boyfriend and my sister are friends, but my major problem is that my boyfriend tells her everything. Literally everything. He tells her things he doesn't tell me, and talks to her about me and our relationship. She knows all our issues and good parts, to a level of detail that I wouldn't even tell my closest friends or parents. She even knows the grades I got on my midterms, finals, and what I think about my manager. I work part-time to contribute to our apartment. But I also get paid for my research, which goes towards our needs as well, which I feel is unnecessary for her to know since I didn't tell her myself. I asked him to step back a bit and stop telling her things about me and our relationship, but he was shocked and told me that I'm an a-hole for even requesting it. Now I feel guilty. So am I the a-hole? Edit. Holy crap, this blew up. Thank you all for your responses and advice. You've literally made me reconsider everything that I thought I knew. The consensus is that there is something shady going on with my boyfriend and my sister, which just makes me want to vomit. I'm now reading into every interaction and conversation, and I feel so naive for not noticing the red flags. I'm going to take your guys' suggestions and set up some nanny cams in my apartment. Either way, it'll be good security. If nothing happens, then it'll be reassuring, and if something does happen, well, I'll deal with that after. I'm going to drive to the store right now to pick up the cameras. I'll try to update soon, hopefully with positive news. Edit. Hi everyone, I have an update. For some reason, I can't figure out how to post an actual update and get mod approval and all that. So if you guys know how, please educate me. I'm so sorry. I should be smarter than this, but I'm a bit out of it right now. If I don't end up figuring it out, I'll just update on this post. But I'd like to make one of those cool update posts if possible. Thanks everyone again for your advice and support. Update. Hi everyone, I have an update. Unfortunately, it's a bad one, but fortunately, I didn't have to wait very long to get it. So the last update I posted was before I went to go get some nanny cams. I set up the cams in hidden spots in our bedroom and living room area in our apartment. Today happens to be my birthday. Yay, for 25. And Debbie, my close friend, 25 female, wanted to take me for a day trip yesterday. My boyfriend agreed and said that we'd do something the next day on my birthday. I told him I'd be out from about 8 a.m. and I'd be home by 8 or 9 p.m. after Dee and I finished dinner. Debbie took me out, but she noticed I was feeling a bit off. I was still thinking about the overwhelming number of responses telling me that something shady was going on. I ended up spilling everything while we were eating lunch. Debbie was outraged on my behalf and agreed that something was off. She asked if I wanted to cut our day short and drop back home to see if anything was happening, and convinced me by saying that it's better to find out today than tomorrow. Yes, I realize we could have just checked the nanny cams, but for some reason we forgot about them in the moment. I'm kind of glad I didn't check because I would have started ugly crying in public. I'm guessing most of you know what happened. It's so predictable. I'm kicking myself afterwards for not realizing. We drove back home around 4 p.m. I caught them literally in the act. Why were they doing it at 4 p.m.? I don't even know. I just kind of stood there with my arms folded and I hoped with a bad ASS, resting bee itch face on. Although maybe it was more a trying not to cry face. My boyfriend gave me a whole "it was an accident" spiel. I just ignored him and started packing my things. Thank God our lease was up for renewal within the month. He begged me and eventually yelled at me for packing up. The funny thing is, I bought most of the furniture and supplies. So, me being slightly petty, packed as much as I could. Debbie helped me and we loaded everything up in her car. We left some stuff that couldn't fit, but I'll go back for that later. The whole time, my sister was sitting stoically wrapped in a robe on my couch. My poor couch. We went back to Debbie's house and I had a breakdown. Debbie, the angel that she is, provided me with ice cream and fuzzy blankets. My ex-boyfriend spammed me with calls and texts, ranging from, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. It was only one time," to "this wasn't my fault. You should have been home more." Predictable. We decided to check the recordings, and lo and behold, it was definitely not just once. I am really sad that the sister who used to bake cupcakes and do karaoke with me could betray me this badly. My ex-boyfriend. Well, he was my first. And in hindsight, he didn't really contribute much anyways. I spent yesterday kind of rotating through being devastated, angry, and self-righteous. But today, Debbie pampered me all day, so it wasn't so bad. Thanks for everyone's support, and I hope that everyone has a good day. So after I wrote this all up and sent it to the mods, I went back to enjoying the rest of my birthday. And Debbie kept me distracted. I left my second laptop. It's an old, slow laptop, and when I upgraded, I still kept it. At my apartment. Turns out I had my email and stuff still signed in my now ex-boyfriend messed with it, and I lost access to my emails and the original throwaway Reddit account. But I did send what I had written to myself beforehand. So that's why I can update here. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see this, but I hope you can. Edit. Also, I forgot to add, but I wrote up the actual update portion. 2 days ago, LOL. It's not my birthday anymore, but yeah, hopefully that puts it in context. Currently, I've been staying with my friend, and I've blocked both my ex-boyfriend and my ex-sister. To be honest, it's a huge weight off my back, and I know this won't affect me forever. Would I be the a-hole to divorce my wife after she said she wanted to send our son to a conversion camp? So, this is a pretty heavy situation. And I'm really confused and disgusted, not gonna lie, because I never thought my wife was like this. My wife, 44 female, and I, 45 male, have been married for 14 years. We have 2 kids, a 16-year-old son, let's call him Noah, and a 12-year-old daughter. We've had our fair share of disagreements over the years, OFC, but things have generally been smooth between us. Now for the context, Noah came out as gay about a year ago. It was a surprise, and as hard as it was to accept, I love my kids more than anything and just want their happiness. My wife visibly didn't take it well, though. She was upset and seemed to go through a grieving period where she didn't really talk about it. I tried to support Noah in every way I could, telling him that I loved him no matter what, etc. My wife, though, I could tell she wasn't on the same page. She would say things like, "This is just a phase," or "he needs help." But I brushed it off as her needing time. Fast forward to last week, and we were having a conversation about Noah's future. Out of nowhere, my wife casually mentions that she's been looking into conversion therapy camps and thinks it might be the right solution. She said that Noah isn't truly gay, that he just hasn't been shown the right path, and that this could fix him. My blood ran cold. Obviously, I was in shock. I immediately told her I didn't agree and that this was not something I could support. Duh. She got upset and said I was enabling Noah's confusion and that if I really cared about him, I would help him get better. What the freak is wrong with her? She was persistent, and no matter how much I tried to explain that conversion therapy is harmful, like I know those kids get assaulted, the R word, and often end up either traumatized or ending themselves, and that I would never send our son to something like that. She wouldn't back down. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't even think I love her anymore. The fact she could be so heartless disgusts me. I know being gay is not easy, and people like her just make it even harder. I'm considering staying, only for our daughter's sake, but would it be okay if it means hurting my son? It feels like a betrayal to Noah. I just don't think I can keep living with someone who thinks this is okay. Now for some comments and replies. OP needs to get a divorce soon as possible. His wife is setting their son up for child neglect. OP replied, I mean, yeah, of course I really want to divorce her. We don't even talk anymore, lol. But I know how dang close my daughter is to her mother. But I know at the moment I need to focus on Noah, and hopefully my daughter will be wise enough to understand. Not the a-hole. Please do not send your son to conversion therapy because of your wife's heartlessness. OP replied, You don't have to worry about this. I will not do this. I love my son just the way he is. I don't even know how to tell him his mom wants to do that. The kids noticed the tension between us, but I haven't said anything yet. Staying for your daughter's sake. What the freak? What about your son? Not the a-hole. Divorce her and get full custody immediately. Of both kids. Tell the judge you fear crazy pants will turn your daughter against your son and raise her to be a bigot like her. Also, if you get any of her nonsense in writing, get it in text, save it. Don't tell her you're going to use it in court. Conversion camps should be illegal. It's so disgusting. OP replied, You're absolutely right. I'll start looking for a good lawyer and cut her out of our life as soon as possible. Update. So, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone here for all the help and advice I've gotten under my post and in DMs. Sorry, if I couldn't answer to everyone, there was just too many freaking people, lol. So I posted something about my wife wanting to send my son to a conversion camp 2 days ago. First of all, some people told me to show her videos and documentaries about what happens there. But this argument has been ongoing for more than a week now. I've shown her things, and she won't budge. Really bad update if I can be honest, so let's get into it. All of you told me to try to get him out ASAP. Y'all were definitely right. So yesterday, I took the day off and went to see an attorney just to get some info about divorce, etc. But after what happened, I'm 100% sure I want a divorce ASAP. Yesterday, I went to pick Noah up at his school, and as many of you suggested, we had a long discussion. I basically told him his mom and I may be getting a divorce because she wants to send him to a conversion camp, but I can't accept that. I've talked with her many times, and I told him I'll probably go through with it. He looked really hurt. My heart broke all over again, but was very understanding and thanked me for standing up for him. I pulled him into a tight hug and told him I'll always love him no matter what, and that nothing's his fault. At that moment, he started crying because he was so glad at least I was on his side. And I'm very pissed, so sorry if I don't make sense, but apparently his mom had been pressuring him for months. She planned dates with girls to try and fix him, and he had to lie by saying he was going to a friend's instead. She was saying he needs help, and as much as she loves him, he needs to get his condition cured, etc. I feel so bad because I've been so oblivious to all that, and I've failed to protect him for all that time. How do you make your 16-year-old son go through that? So when we got home yesterday, I can't lie, I was furious and confronted her right there and then. At first, she was trying to explain she was doing it for him, but her speech quickly turned to slurs, and it was clear she was just ashamed of having a gay son. In the end, I told her I went to see an attorney, and that learning all that just confirmed that I want a divorce. She got really angry, calling me a delusional disgrace. We argued a lot, and at some point Noah tried to separate us, but my wife punched him multiple times. She was saying disgusting things like he is a dirty F word and that it's all his fault we're getting divorced because his filth corrupted me. My daughter, who was probably in her room, came to see what all that commotion was about and was rightfully horrified and quickly called 911 when I told her to. Long story short, the cops got there and took her away. She was very reluctant to go because she was not in the wrong, and they needed to let her go. I explained everything to my daughter, and she doesn't want anything to do with her mom anymore. Right now, I'm in the hospital because my soon-to-be ex-wife broke my rib while I was restraining her. I should have probably went as soon as the cops took her. But I don't care, my son was crying. With a black eye and split lip. They are checking for any concussion. And obviously the only thing I cared about was to comfort him because I can't even imagine what it can feel like being beaten by your mom for being gay. I'm planning to file for full custody, of course, and my kids don't want to see her ever again anyway. Given all the charges she's facing, I hope she won't stand a chance against me. I just sent an email to my attorney, and I hope the procedures will be fast. I've also thought of getting CPS involved, but I'm not sure they will really help. I cannot understand how you can grow so resentful of your own kid because of something they can't control. Even though I had pretty strong opinions about it, as a father, it is my role to unconditionally love my kids, and so I learned about the topic and changed my way of seeing the world for him. It took some time grasping it, but I never doubted for 1 second the love I have for my child. I thought it was the same for my wife. Visibly not. Now for some comments. OP on his daughter's strength to call for help and get her some therapy if needed. OP replied, T, thank you very much. I'm so proud of her for doing this, only at 12. She's pretty shaken and confused, but she seems to understand the gravity of her mom's actions. I'm so sad she had to be dragged into this mess as well. OP on kicking his wife out of the house or moving out somewhere with his kids. OP replied, We've got a house that is under both our names, and we didn't have a prenup. People have been telling me to change the locks and throw her stuff out, but I just don't know if I can do that. If I can't, I'll either go back to my parents with the kids or rent an apartment in the meantime.